I am driving the RS6 now. Now the car's quite a monster, it's always been, but what's interesting is that this time around with this generation, Audi has decided to go a little frugal, and so which is why the V10 goes and the V8 appears. The car also has cylinder deactivation technology. So, alright, I've talked about its greener credentials, but can it still do what it's supposed to? Well, I have the car with me, right? So obviously I have the answer. The RS6 has been the surprise launch from Audi in India. Why a surprise? Because no one figured Audi or anyone would really bother with the station wagon space, although it has to be said that the RS6 is no ordinary station wagon. Estates, wagons, or as Audi calls them, Avants, have not been successful in India. Strange really, because they are extremely practical vehicles, more so than even SUVs and crossovers. But before I lament the choices of the Indian consumer too much, let's get on with the RS6 review, shall we? And yes, the RS6 is available only in the Avant form worldwide since this generation. The fact that this is an RS from Audi, well, it does mean that you get some of the trappings that go with those two alphabets. So on the inside, lots of Alcantara, lots of leather and lots of carbon fiber. That's not surprising now, is it? Well, that is pretty much what you would expect from a car like this. So there's also carbon fiber thrown onto the exterior mirror and very neat looking alloy wheels with low profile rubber tires. So you do know that, well, you can't really take this car everywhere. You've got to be a little bit careful with it, especially on broken road surfaces. In the front, the face is quite similar to the RS7 that you've seen, so I'm not going to go on about it. Looks sporty, it looks really sharp, and yes, the new facelifted look of the car, which is what we've got for the first time in India, well, of course, it really works. The car also features Audi's Matrix LED lighting system. The RS6 is also every bit as practical as the wagon segment promises, but more so from the point of view of it being a sporty car too. The beauty of a lot of the RS range that we have seen of late, or indeed some of the AMGs and Ms, is that they can pretend to be normal everyday cars for the most part and slip into something sporty just as quickly when need be. What makes the recent RS range, like the RS6 and also the RS7, even more adept at that is that they have cylinder on demand with Audi's valve lift. This means only 4 cylinders operate most of the time, with the intake and exhaust valves of 2 cylinders per side closing off when not needed. That, coupled with the start-stop system, helps save fuel. Practical and powerful? Nice combo, right? Under the hood is essentially the same motor that we recently showed you in the RS7. The 4.0 TFSI V8 has 560 bhp and 700 Nm of torque. It can do 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.9 seconds, which is blisteringly fast for a wagon. The transmission is an 8-speed Tiptronic. So now the real question is, does it live up to that RS badge? I'm going to put it in sport mode. You tell me. Every bit so. This is a faster RS than the previous one, and while it can tear into the tarmac, and very quickly at that, it never loses its composure. The RS6 is in Porsche territory in both performance and sheer speed terms, and also handles with a taut and sure assurance. Near perfect. And what's more, it also sounds absolutely fantastic as it does that. The car's gearbox is actually more precise when it's handling the changes and a touch slower when you take over on the pedals. But on the whole, the torque converter gearbox does very well. Buyers can opt for the sport suspension or stay with the standard adaptive air suspension. The car I have has the sport setup. The RS6 has terrific body control, and even on rough or undulating surfaces, the car stays on target. The RS6 has launched in India with a sticker price of 1 crore 35 lakh rupees, ex-showroom Delhi.